Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm have another ECM repair video here. I want to share some of the techniques and findings on computers and some of the work that I do here. I know there is a lot of excitement on these and a lot of people that is eager to learn. So I wanted to share some of the information in testing. And a lot of people is asking me, well, do you learn? Well, I do have some basics on electronics and everything from my own country. I study there, um, some computer repair work and everything. And I have done, through the years, webinars and seminars, and I even went to Mexico to study a little bit of ECM repairs. And I have some sources in Costa Rica, which is Automotriz in Video, which is automotive in video. One second. Sorry for the interruption. So yes, they have some good ECM classes that are, very basic, but they're good, So it's always good to, study as much as you can and take the best out of anything that you go. So if it's a seminar, if it's a long class or whatever, try to you do your notes and use it for your own, your own growth. All right, so going back to this repair, I did have some. Already done, and I'm going to probably just put maybe a little bit of the opening of the computer, which I started a video at first without opening the computer and showing it, but that's pretty easy. It's just 5 volts and they're in, opening up. This is a Motorola-based computer from a 2007 Mercury Milan. The computer complaint is no air conditioning activation on the relay or on the fuel pump. This is from one of my subscribers, Daniel. So this is your computer. I also got some good new hardware that I'm going to use for the recording. I'm going to be using that camera pretty soon to record the view of the repair and some of the testing that I will be doing. I also wanted to share, I already took a picture of the board, which is the same computer in here. So let me just show you that that is the board. And let me move this just out of the way for now. So I just snap a picture of that and put them in there. And now I use that as the, oops, sorry, as the image to find all the components and do the test in here. So I'm trying to do many things at the same time, and that's why I sometimes mumble a little bit. All right, so with this software I explained before, this is a curve tracer, but it's nice because you can, use your to create your own database, and it has a dual channels. This is the tool right here, and it has dual ports in here. So with that, I can test components from a known good to, whatever bad computer. If you have two, I mean, sometimes you have like many computers to repair, and then you can do that. Or you have a component that you can test outside and then remove it and test it from, if you know which one is the ground or so. Because with this tool, you need to make sure that you got no power or no, nothing on the computer. Make sure that you discharge the capacitors before you use it. All right, so that is just a little bit on that. So I did already test. Let me move my glasses a little bit. This light is actually my face. So just please bear with me just a little bit. I'm trying to make this small, but I think I make it too big. Ooh, I think I got it now. Uh-huh. I don't need it because, before I needed a little bigger because I was trying to create the own map. So what I did is I first started checking, the components that I suspect is bad, which I already know that that's the problem. And then I just want to show you, I'm going to click on the names that I got here. This is just the numbers that I put for that IC, which is a preset driver, and I'll show you in a second how I know that. And I know that this is pin 1 and so on. And so as you can see, this is in pin 1 as is in here. If I click now on pin 2, which I already and that's the waveform. By the way, if I click in the number 2, you can see that the waveform changes, and so is the X. It goes now to the pin 2, and so is in here. So I can now use that to, when I replace these components, to run the test, because I now this is the known bed, and then when I run the test, I can just go to the auto test, and let me just do it with just one hand. You need to make sure that you put this on the ground. In this case, I'm just going to use one of the driver as a ground, which is a ground. So if I go over to pin 1, I'm just going to show you on the screen, and it's an auto test. It's very hard for me to see, but hopefully you guys can hear that. So it's now moving into pin 2, and it's that sound shows us good. It is good because it's the same component and that I just said. So, and I went through the 24 pins on that. I also checked the drivers that know that I know as a fact that those are the drivers for the fuel pump and for the AC, which is one second. Yeah, is I'm going to click in here. So this is one of them, and the other one is in here. The pins for that fuel pump and the relay, for the fuel pump and the AC relay are, let me just one second to go to the folder. I don't want to show this because I think I had the name of the customer in there. So let me just open that. So I think this is the one in question. Let me go over to the pins, which are 62 and 64. So 62, as you can see right here, is fuel pump relay control, and then the 64 is the AC clutch relay control. So that's how I know, and how I know these ones are um, the pins right here. So 64 and 62. Another way to know, because this computer, the connectors are exactly the same, 70 pin each. How I know which one is which? I just go by, let's say find something that is unique on one of the connectors. Like when you're looking at a wire diagram, or sorry, a wire harness, you go like, oh, there's a yellow and a pink and a yellow. Okay, you look for that on the wire diagram, on the wire harness. If you are on the connector, let's say, these 4 pins, 60, 70 is not used, 69, 68, 67, and 66 are grounds. If I go over to the other connector on the computer, they're not grounds, they're actually the O2 sensors. So I went and I test. If I touch here, sorry, if I touch here, here, and here on these 3 pins in here, those are ground. So that's exactly my connector. And I just follow the paths and find out which, it goes to a capacitors in here. Then I test the capacitor, make sure they're not shorted. I go down to the two MOSFETs that we have here. Those are N-channel MOSFETs, and I check them too. And then I follow over to the TPIC 46LO2, which is this one is a prefet prefet uh, yeah, the prefet driver. And I have also the information for that. So just give me one second. It's a six channel serial and parallel low side prefet driver. And these are the pins if you want to, with the computer on, you can check that, make sure that you got the drain, because this um, controls the drain and the gate of those drivers, not just for the fuel pump, also for other things. So I'm very familiar with this computer, so it's not a problem for me to repair them. And that's what I'm also sharing with you some of my findings. And please don't expect me to give you everything, because it's not fair. It's years and years of testing, and all I'm trying to show you is that I do have the knowledge, and you can send me the computers, and I will repair them. If you're in another country and you need some help, I'm willing to help you, but please don't expect me to give you hours and hours of lessons that it's not going to happen. So I try to help as much as I can with my own time. I work during the day as a mechanic, and then after hours, I do all these computer repairs, which is something that I love to do. And I love my lab. So, all right, let's go over to now the testing that I did. So I'm going to show you that, and I will replace those components and retest them. All right, guys. So I think this is already this to synchronize that recording, which hopefully everything is going to go good. So I hope that everybody catch up a little bit on on that testing with the curve tracer, which is really handy. So my goal now is I'm going to remove this lead from here, and we're going to remove that component. Again, it's the TPIC 46L02. I do have a lot of components, so let me look for it. Should have that one already, but I didn't. So just bear with me 1 second. And prevent right here. Yeah, this is the TPIC 46L02. This is actually new. So let me look for another one open. I like to keep the bags as much as possible sealed because these are, they will get damaged from moisture. Yeah, I got another one open in here. It's a very common component. And make sure that you always have something metal to discharge yourself in case, depends on where you wear, you're going to have a static electricity, and those are very easy to damage with any electricity. Um, you can ground yourself, like I do have a strap for grounding myself in case I need it. Um, Let me actually put it here. That might be the best way. So you guys can have the part number. Yes, it's from Mauser Electronics. And now let me just make sure that this is back into focus in there. All right, we got the component that we need to replace here. Gonna put it just in a heat mat. These are ceramic tweezers, so they're safe to handle those type of components. I'm going to turn the fan on, which I always forget. And I love this microphone because I know as a fact that it's going to get most of that noise away. All right, things that you need to do, make sure that you remove as much as possible the clear coat from the component that you're going to work. It has a clear coat to protect, against moisture and everything, which I also have here. Oops, sorry, I'm going to be in the way right there. Um, this is the component, the clear coat that you spray it after, so you protect the computer for against moisture. A little bit of the flux, always good to help the temperature spread more evenly, and it will remove the component a lot easier too. Um, where did I put the hose? Gotta remember what I put it. Right here. And right here. This is just a vacuum pump to get the components out. When I tried, I got this new. Let's see how it works. I always use the tweezers. Oh, really? But with this, it's ESD safe, so I can just go grab the new one. Yeah, this is too big. I'm gonna have to use a small. Oh, no, that's not the issue. Just bear with me a little bit. I'm out of practice. I just gotta cover the hole in here to create the vacuum. Pretty good. Yes, it's going to work really good. Hopefully. Let's see how much temperature that one can uh, work on. I haven't used it. This is the first time I'm actually using this vacuum pump for any removing. I usually use my tweezers, and I had her gone. Sometimes you need to get three hands for this. Removing it's not going to be that bad, but we'll see. I got my hotter station always set up to like I think it's 500 degrees Fahrenheit to just quickly and centralize the temperature on what I'm removing. Just waiting for the temperature to reach before I hit the board with any heat. It's a little cold here in the room, probably like 60, 68 or so. All right, so you always spray the heat up evenly. Yeah, I don't think it's working. It's too big. Gonna have to use the other one. So let me put that there. Yep, that's in full temperature. And you guys are seeing something? No, it's not really working for anything good in here. So let me do this the normal way. Let me turn this off. Just wanted to check it out, but no, this is no good. In this case, I'm going to use the other tweezer. Just got to be more careful. So I like to always pick up a corner. Oop, too much force. All right, we got it out. As you can see, it's pretty quick with the hot air. Let me just double check 1 second with the microscope. So I'll be in the way of the camera just a second. Want to make sure that everything is fine in there. Yep, no problems. All right, the next thing you need to do is again clean the clear coat. This is just the flux remover that I always use to clean here. And now when it is on, I don't need the hot air station no more, so we can turn that off. A little more flux to clean the pads. I got that tool from JBC, which is like the top of the line soldering workstations and irons and everything. They got a tip cleaner in there, which is fantastic. I love it. They're not cheap, but they're really good. Again, my iron station from Hako is a Hako FM 203. It's really fast. You just go quick cleaning the pads in here. Then you clean the dip. No more sponge, no more nothing else. And it keeps the irons, you know, good very long. Hope this capture is good. First time I use this camera for this. All right, so we're gonna put a little solder. Now everything is good to go, clean. And pin one is here. All right. Sorry guys, I need to set it up in place. So I need to use the microscope and a smaller iron. Trying to open the tweezer a little more. All right, that should work. And usually what I do is I just go in one corner with whatever is left in there with, just to secure it. Still moving, but it's secure already. Oop, still not. All right, it's good. Let me move the microscope out of the way. And so what I was doing with the iron is just, going like this. This will spray the heat evenly. And it's not done. I mean, this is just to set them in place, but it is perfectly in place. And up right here. Actually, I'm trying to use this here. I got so much stuff that is a big desk is it's not big enough. um, I hope my eyes would be so good that I can do that without a microscope, but I don't think I can. And I got so much in the top of my head with the microphone and everything. Yeah, no, this is no good. I'm just trying to show you guys as much as I can. Uh, Camera is getting hot, huh? Well, it is going to be what it is. So let me use the microscope. I'm sorry, guys, but I need to. I cannot see that without the microscope, and that has to be done correctly. It's pretty quickly. Like I said, all I'm doing now is just going on each of those pins with the iron. I click that, clean the excess. That's one thing I love about that tip cleaner is because sometimes you got too much. You don't want to put too much solder because otherwise it would join the pads. And the one that comes, that sponge or whatever, isn't like a metal wool or something in there. It's not really the best. I mean, it does the work, but it's not the best. I need to get myself a little closer. Perfect. That is the best view. And I just joined two. See, that's exactly what it didn't happen. I just put the iron too close and it grabbed too much of the solder. But let me see if I can clean it with the same tip. Let's put a little extra solder in there. I mean, flux. Yep, perfect. The tip just took it off. And now it's everything looking very good except for the first one. All the side is good. Okay, going over the other side now. Oof, that was a huge blood. And the nice thing about keeping your iron clean is that even if you put too much, like I just did in there, you just lay the iron all the way down and it takes it out. I'm sorry, I know that you guys wanted to see this more, and that was the reason of me having this camera in there, but I cannot. Right now, I cannot do it without the microscope. All right, now that is done. Let's clean the flux that is in here. And like these cans of compressed air, they work really good. because the flux always, I guess going to melt and it's going to try to go down under the component. You don't want to leave that because it will create oxidation. And I seen, I mean, so many computers that come back from, not come back, come here, and somebody else is do a repair, and it's, a lot of that stuff is just flux, bed solder joints. All right, one more time, checking this in here. Oop, my glasses on. Yeah, the component is perfectly installed. All right, I can turn the fan off. Now what I want to do, and I'm going to relocate the camera. I don't need to have these on, so I'm going to turn this one off. Um, what I'm going to do is use the database that I created to check the new component in place to see if we have any difference in there, which I already know that this is the issue, but I want to share with you guys this finding. And the drivers I already replaced, as you will see, or probably you already pick it up in the camera. These two are new drivers. Those are pretty easy, so I didn't show that. Let me turn this off because it's getting hot and it has a, these cameras are not made to be recording for longer period of times. And I put this cable here. Okay, now it's done. We don't need this camera no more. You guys can see that, and I'm actually going to do the test. So let me relocate you just a little bit on a better position. Yeah, oops, sorry for that shaking. A little closer. Oops. I can remove that, don't worry. All right, so that probably will be the best spot. So again, no power in the board. We put the ground when I used it before, which is good. And we're gonna go and start a test on pin 1. And okay, the auto test is already done. And 2. Uh-huh. We have a difference in there, so let's change the next one. Okay, pin 5. Mhm. All right, that should be pin 14. Now we go to 15. And actually, I can use forgot I'm not using this one, so I can use a microscope. A lot easier for me to see. I need to clean a little bit more. All right, we got another difference as well, which is awesome because that's exactly what I'm looking for. A small, and this is only with a tolerance of 3%, which I have tested that is perfect. So we got two pins, the two drivers, pretty much. We got another one, perfect. and the rest is fine. All right, so those are the pins in there. Let me see if the outputs are the, this is good. Perfect, we have a change. Let's go over to the other one. And the test is complete. Hopefully you guys can see that on the camera, and that's, how I test it. Sometimes you need to, depends on the failure of the computer, you need to, turn the computer on and run it because, it's a different problem. Oh my God. One second, guys. I got my glasses attached to the microphone. I just want to recap a little bit. Hopefully you can see me well in there. So this is a short video. I just don't want to show too much more. I will do some more further testing and closing the computer back again and send it over to him to install. If everything goes well, which I know it will because I have done this many different times, I will post a video, and I hope that you guys find some good information in here. I'm trying to share some of the tools that I use, how you use it, and work too. So it's a little hard. So thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.